The Sony SL R'C9. Don't want to say that too quick. Let's crack on. Hello and welcome to another MrBetaByte video, and this one's a little bit different insofar as we are returning to the Sony SL-C9, dubbed the SL R'C9. R for rusty, because I actually found the top cover for it the other day, a picture of it here, and yeah, it really did have a hard life. I hadn't actually realised, or I hadn't remembered. Basically, this thing had been in a lot of damp. And what tickles me is the sticker on the front of it that says, make sure that it's not damp before use or something similar. But yeah, I think it was actually used in a damp house as well. I mean, it spent most of its life being damp. So we got this one going. This was the one that had the SS board that I borrowed for another repair. So we put another one in. I scrapped some scrap machines, if that makes sense, and put a board back in this, got it up and running, recapped power supply. There is actually a playlist for this machine now, because I'm obviously going to keep this machine, and yeah, just see what goes wrong with it, because it's sort of like accelerated learning as to what fails on them. And I ran it for about 6 hours and it failed. So let's have a look at what that failure is. So it is actually black and white as well, which I hadn't noticed because when I was testing it before, yeah, this is what it would do. And yeah, so I have a sneaky suspicion we've got capacitor issues on the YC panel. So yeah, and quite quickly it just disappears. So yeah, I'm going to eject that cassette and let's get the top and then bottom covers off and take a look. Let's crack on. So we're at the board in question, and it's actually the RV7 board, not the YC. It's usually YC, but yeah, isn't in this one. And I can immediately see with a very quick inspection, we've actually got two sort of fairly common signs that we've got bad caps. This cap here, you can see the legs are really bad. It's leaked basically, and then we've got another cap. Where are we here? You can actually see the board is darkened underneath it, and that's also a good sign that it's basically leaked out its electrolytic onto the PCB. You can see a little bit of, maybe just see a little bit of corrosion there as well. So I'm going to change those two first. No doubt there's going to be more, but it'd be quite fun just to change those and see if that fixes it. And yeah, you can just see it's been so damp in here. Let's crack on. So I've actually changed 4. You'll notice they're all the same sort of style, and yeah, they were pretty bad. The other one came from here. Most of them are 33 microfarad. There's one 10 microfarad one as well. And they all show signs of leakage, and they are all national Panasonic capacitors, and no conspiracy theories there. These caps are not the best. I mean, they go bad in Panasonic stuff quite often. Sony, bless them, they do have a habit of speccing right up to the voltage. They don't always, and very frequently they don't, but sometimes they do. So you need to have good caps. which is why you should get good caps when you replace them. Don't get the cheap and nasty ones. You have to do a decent job, because it may last for a little while, but invariably you'll get failure again quite quickly. So let's power this back on and see where we're up to. See if it's any better.
Study to be a snowshoe rabbit.
Move ahead,
I'm going
Cog.
back to Perth Amboy.
So, it appears to be black and white. There we go. So,
What's all the...
yeah. Just, oh, bit of colour burst through there. I'm guessing that somewhere else, and I'm using heat because I think it's going to be heat that shows it up. Maybe. I'm probably not giving it long enough, but I'd like to think that it would quite quickly show up. I'm sure it's a cap. Thing is, I could just replace this board, but it seems a bit pointless to do that, and I'm sort of intrigued to see what does actually cause issues. Sort of learning experience with the machine. Yeah, see, we've got two more caps there that are Panasonic. Shall we try some freezer spray? Make sure it is freezer spray. I want spray foam cleanser. I mean, this is very haphazard. I normally wouldn't just go around spraying absolutely everything. But I'm convinced it is a cap. Oh, it might be that one because it's brand new. Okay. We might have to delve in deeper. And those two actually look okay, but they are... well, no, they're not. If you look there, where you can see it, it's actually dark underneath the cap, and yeah, there's a bit of darkness coming by the one leg. Probably can't really make that out, but yeah, so they need to go as well. So I'll get those done and we'll try again. Let's crack on. Okay, let's try again. Let's start a capture. There we go.
Well, here I am.
Yeah, I need to sort that head clog out.
I will name him
And
George.
I will hug him.
That
and
is
squeeze
disappearing.
him and pet him and pat him and...
Yeah. Okay, well, yeah, that's done nothing. The leaky caps that are visibly leaky are not causing the issue, but they would cause issues. So somewhere we've got another cap. I'm sure it's a cap. that is causing issues but isn't showing as leaky. So time to investigate further. Let's crack on. I was messing about with this the other night and I just thought I'll just put some heat on, just on the output. Now, one fairly common, I say fairly common, I've had it a few times now, issue I've had is the last capacitor before the video outs. In this case it's a 1000 microfarad 10 volt one, and they go weird, you know, they just go leaky and horrible, and they will block the video signal. So yeah, so I put heat sort of in this area and the picture came back, and then you'd leave it and it'd disappear again. So obviously got a problem there. I'm going to try and replicate it. So let's turn it on. So press play. And just while that warms up. So we get a video signal. Oh, it's going almost straight away now. Oh no, there we go. We'll just wait for it to disappear. Sorry about the fan noise. Now, one slight clue, this isn't sort of 100%, but one slight clue, if I press stop and then press play again, you get the picture back and then it will disappear again. And it's doing, you know, it's not like instant either. It actually takes a little while for the picture to disappear. I know we've got black and white as well. We'll look at that in a sec. So let's give it a bit of heat. Oh, maybe it's not that one. Get it too hot. Oh, it's coming back a little bit. Saw a couple of flickers. Oh, you do have to get it hot. I'm gonna get it back. Yeah, I don't think I'm quite getting enough heat in. Let me just try, because it wasn't the air that I was using last time, it was the heat gun, so. Just saw a flicker. So another flicker. Yeah, it's getting pretty hot now. Yeah, so I think, to be fair, I think I've given it so much heat now. So that's pretty well had it. I've probably just finished it off with the heat. But yeah, I was putting the heat on it and it was coming back, and like I say, you could see the odd little flicker there, but it was no more than that. So yeah, I'm going to change that one. I'm starting to wonder if maybe it might be another cap, but I'll change that one anyway, because that is a likely culprit, and we'll see if that does the trick. Okay, so I've changed all three actually, so I just thought it's worth it. The 10 volt ones can be quite troublesome, so I started a capture, see if that has fixed it. I'm sort of doubting myself now whether this is going to actually work, but oh, we seem to have nothing at all. Let me just check. Oh. Spot the deliberate mistake. There we go. Let's try again. Okay, so we have an image. How long will it last? Oh, there it goes. Right, so we've got something going bad here. And I am tempted, because I've cooked these so much actually, just to change a lot. Not very scientific, I know. But it's going to be one of these. Yeah, there's no obvious signs of leakage, but it's going to be one of those. So I'm really surprised it's that one actually. So yeah, I'm going to have to change those. Now the colour issue, I have a feeling it's going to be that the adjustment for the 4.43. These have a real habit of they tarnish over time, so much so that they'll actually go out of adjustment. I think they actually short. They become so contaminated or become a resistor. So yeah, that needs to come out as well. But yeah, I'll change that. I've got some suitable ones here. They go a little bit low on the one side, but they're fine. You know, you can make the adjustment. So I'll get that changed next, and then we'll change all of these. Let's crack on. So just for fun, I actually just changed the 4.7 microfarad ones. So that one, that one, that one, that one. Yeah, 4. It looks like one of them might have been changed at some point, but I don't know. It's a bit dubious about them. None of them show any physical signs of leakage. But yeah, anyway, let's power it back up. We still don't have colour back. Yeah, and it's still disappearing, so it's not the 4.7s. I'm just really intrigued which one it is. Because, yeah, I know it's one of them around here. It's in this small area, so yeah, it's going to be quite interesting to find out which one it is. Heaven forbid, I might have to get the scope on it and do it properly. But I just think, well, it's sort of it will need recapping at some point because there's just been so much moisture. But I just think, well, I'll do that area anyway because I did really cook it to find that cap. Or to find that thermal issue. Well, not thermal issue, but that heat made it work. So yeah, I suppose the next lot is we've got 3.3s and we've got 10s. So I'll do those next. And we'll see what happens. Yeah, okay, let's crack on. Okay, so oh, I've changed quite a few caps and it's not made any difference, so I thought I'd just try the heat gun again, and I think literally the heat gun is just too hot, so I'm going back with the hot air gun, and I'm going to just do each cap. And I was finding even around sort of, well, just anywhere I seem to get a picture back. There's only one there. I know everybody loves to blame the Sanyo ones, but by this vintage they were okay. Oh, that's interesting. I don't want to give them too much because they could explode. Oh, okay. We're getting something from those two. It's not bringing the picture back, but we've got lock. Yeah, they're red hot. I mean, the thing is, there's only so many times you can do this before you just totally, like, well, potentially ruin them. But I would say probably it's one of those two, or that one. I wonder if I use some freezer. Right, so they're cold. Yeah, that's hot now. Okay. Move these out the way. So a bit of a flicker and some colour. Oh, melted the shroud on that a bit. Got a bit hot. Oh, it's really difficult, isn't it? Sort of pinpoint. You can sort of see. It's almost like I've got several that are bad. Yeah, see, I'm starting to get lock again. And so when the signal disappears, missing signal disappears on the capture, that means it's getting locked. There's just no video. Yeah, okay. I think this needs a recap. It's not my favourite thing to do, and I know I've done a few panels now where I've just basically replaced all the caps. But looking at it, I mean, there's green on some of the links there. I mean, really, I should change the panel for one of the good ones I have, and I do have a few good ones, as you know, but yeah, I'm sort of quite intrigued to sort of just get this one going. I mean, obviously we've already changed the servo panel because I borrowed it. I'm hoping that panel will be alright. I'm sure it will. It'll be fine. But this one seems to have suffered. So, really weird. And it's sort of, quite bizarre as well that I think this was actually used in a really damp room. You can see some rust there on the bottom of the screw mounting there. So, okay, let's crack on. Okay, so I think I found it. I think it's this one. There we go. It's not that one. Then no, it's definitely that one. See the colours coming back there a little bit, or colour information. I don't think for a minute, I don't want to get that too hot, I don't want it to pop. I don't mind a cap popping, but you don't know what it's going to take with it. So, okay, well, that's fairly positive, I suppose. Let's crack on. So this is a bit crazy. I'm changing caps, like a few caps at a time, where I'm finding heat makes a difference. And it gets better, but it's just like every cap on this panel is bad. It's absolutely bonkers, and I just wonder what the rest of the machine's going to be like, to be fair. But yeah, it just seems this signal board, the RV7, is just particularly bad. So yeah, I'll keep on going. I think I'm going to end up recapping the whole lot. Let's crack on. So I've done some more capacitor changes, but I think I'm completely barking up the wrong tree. I think I have a problem with this BX10321032 module. And the reason I think that is, if I press play, and a little bit of colour trying to come through, and just wait for it to start fading. So there we go, it's starting to fade. It's disappearing. I can sort of keep it going. It seems to be at the corner. So, oops, disappearing. I'm still not convinced. It's still trying to. I think that's dead now. But it's a funny one. It goes on so long. Yeah, it's quite hot now. Let's just cool it down. And press stop, because when you press stop and press play again, you get it back. And that's a really odd thing. I'm really doubting its capacitor now. So there we go, it's starting to go. I'll bring it back. And then bring it back. And then it goes. So I'm thinking it must be that module. Bit of an unorthodox way to sort of fault find this, I have to say. I'll probably I sort of went on a bit of a wild goose chase because it looked thermal. So it's like, well, we'll go down the thermal routes. But yeah, I mean, it definitely is thermal, but would a scope have found that quicker? I don't know, to be honest, because these modules, there's the circuit diagram, the schematics, aren't that great. You can sort of work it out, but you're never really fully in the know what's going on. I tend to find anyway. So yeah, maybe it's not great, but well, I suppose if it gets the job done, then fair enough. Still a bit concerned about colour. I don't know whether it is that capacitor there that's gone faulty, or we've got another fault. But anyway, let's see if we can at least keep a steady picture going, and then we can measure the 4.43 and take it from there. So yeah, let's crack on. I'll get this swapped over. Yeah, so I do have another one. It's taken from another panel. Unfortunately, it's actually a good panel, but I do have other panels that are damaged in transit, so I can, when I find those, I can liberate BX1032 from there and swap it over, and jobs are good. Let's crack on. I'll get that changed. Okay, so I've changed the module. There's the old one, and I'm intrigued. If this fixes it, well, fixes at least the video out, I'll be a bit surprised. Oh, it's the end of the cassette. Okay, so we have a picture. And oh, it's going. It's going. It wasn't that module. That took a lot longer. I wonder what it is. It's really weird. It's got to be something in this area, and is thermally affected. But it's not that module. How bizarre. I mean, there's a diode there. Could it be that diode? Really? Possibly a look at some schematics might be an idea. Just for kicks though. I mean, it does seem to take longer before it starts to go. Yeah, you can see it's starting to go dull. And that's the problem. The heat gets everywhere. Okay, so I'm thinking then maybe it's the module behind. So let's press stop. Got to put some sort of heat through it, that's for sure. I can't get my head round. I'm missing something. Because heat seems to have an effect, but I don't necessarily think it's heat. Oh, I don't know. So you got a picture back. starting to go. That keeps it. What happens if I squirt it with cold now and then re-squirt it? Ooh. With some heat. And you just get a bit of colour. What if I press pause? Yeah, pause makes no difference, which I wouldn't think it would, because we're still using that part of the circuit. As soon as I stop, so there it goes fading. Yeah, see, that seems to do it, but then that seemed to do it for the other one as well. It's not something stupid, like something weird going on with the actual potentiometers. Just give them a little wiggle. With a screwdriver that's actually suitable for the job. That one might do a bit better. No. No. Really weird. Really weird. Really weird. It's just, whatever it is pretty thermally affected. But, you know, to think that I started off over here and ended up over here is quite something, really. So I suppose the next thing is to change this module. Blimey, let's crack on. Well, that's a BX1034A changed. I still don't think this is going to work. Let's start a capture. And I did a really tidy job of the soldering on that as well. I'm quite impressed, actually. So let's see what happens. It does that sort of blanking thing as well, which it shouldn't really do. It's going again. Okay, well, at least we know those two modules are fine. Let's see what's going on. Why does it blank like that? It shouldn't blank. Press play again, and it'll be fine. A little blank, which I don't understand. Just wait for it to start to, there we go, it's starting to go again. Well, now it seems to suggest it's that chip. Which could make sense, because that would have like a blanking in it. Bit of heat on it, brings it. So is it that chip? Oh. I mean, this is a lot. Oh, that's interesting. So that's in stop. And we're getting little flickery bits. Let's call that down. What are we on? AV. So let's put on tuner. Right, okay. Well, that could be a clue if we give it some E to E, maybe. 9 PCM. Okay. On the chip, brings it back. On the chip, brings it back. Okay, it's the chip. Maybe. Gosh. Talk about going around the houses. I mean, it seems more thermally affected directly. And could it be that chip? Yeah, I'd have to look at the schematic, to be honest. I thought it was this chip that was video. Well, I suppose it's all related, isn't it? It's a video panel. So let's press stop. Let's want to see if it is that chip. So let's get some heat. There we go. So press play. Because I would expect it to be quicker in some ways. 868 even. So yeah, I suppose I better change that. Let's crack on. Fitted it last night and all went to plan, except I ran out of time to actually test it. So let's test it. Give it some power. Start a capture. So has that fixed it? Well, still does that sort of double blank, which I'm still not terribly convinced is correct. There was a bit of colour trying to come through. And that's doing it again. What is going on? I was convinced it was going to be that chip. Not something silly like the diode underneath or something. Okay, so there's a diode underneath, sort of tacked on. I'm tempted just to give it a little bit of heat. I'll stop it first. It's a bit weird. It does feel like an E to E rather than anything. diode. So start it again, and we get image, got the blink. What is it? Oh, suggesting it's that cap. Yeah, I think at the end of the cassette. Okay, so I mean, I suppose it could be the little one there that seems to be the big green one that seems to have gone a bit weird. Okay, well, I was going to nick that off another board, and we'll see if that does the trick. Let's crack on. Right, let's try again. Already powered it up. I will be a bit surprised if it is that capacitor. So start capture. But, well, we'll see. Do the blink. Let's just try again. Let's give it a bit of heat. Okay, so cap. And it just needs the slightest bit of heat. Okay, well, we'll change that one. Very bizarre. Okay, so here we go again. Power on. And start to capture. Maybe. Here we go. And nope, still doing it. I mean, did I change that electrolytic? 105, yes. What can it be? I'm sort of running out of ideas. Maybe turn that off for a minute. I'm going to turn down the air, the heat of the air. So I'm going for 130. So things should be a bit more controlled. Yes, it's that cap. It can't be. Yeah, that's quite hot. Five. It's done the blink. Oh, yeah, that went really quick, didn't it? All of those are fine. I'll just see where else I've not changed caps, because I haven't done them all yet. All that area. And there is a diode there. I wonder if it's the diode. Okay. It feels semiconductor to me. It just points to that cap. It surely can't be that one, because I've tested that one with heat. Yeah, I mean the chip is, there's a bit of warmth there, but not enough to make a difference. Okay, so press play. So it's really chilled it now. Yeah, so it's stone cold now. But it's weird that when it was cold, there we go, straight back again. That's weird. I can't get my head around that. That's really bizarre. So I've changed the capacitor again, but I've changed it for a capacitor that has a much tighter tolerance. So the capacitor that was in there is sort of potentially plus 80, minus 20% range, which is massive. But this one is 10%, so we'll see. I can't quite get my head around what's going on. If this works, or it's better, then this won't be the fix. I'll need to try and work out what's going on, but well, let's give it a try. So power it on and start a capture, and see what happens. So we have video, and yeah, that's going. It's just really weird. Really weird. I think I need to hit the schematics. Like I say, I mean, I'm just doing this because I obviously noticed an issue with the thermals, and it's just like, well, it should be straightforward, but no, it's not. There is something else going on here, and I've sort of gone down this alley of changing these two modules, changing this chip, and yeah, I mean, any one of these components could have been causing that issue, but that cap seems to affect things. And why does it affect things? What's going on? What's going on in circuit that's causing this cap to become so critical relative to its temperature to cause blanking and E2E issues? So yeah, I'm still not convinced that's the only problem. Well, no, I mean, I'm certainly not convinced that's the only problem, but this is highlighting something else that's going wrong in circuit, and this is, yeah, it's sort of blown my mind a bit, because it's just like, doesn't actually make a lot of sense. But yeah, let's crack on. So I've been working my way slowly through this. Put the old capacitor back in. Excuse the brown mark on the back. That's why I was heating it with a soldering iron. So yeah, but it's fine. Just burnt the paint a bit. So yeah, I still get the same issue. If I heat this up, when the picture starts to disappear, I can keep the picture for a bit longer. But checking voltages, I haven't checked video signal so far, because I might not even have to be fair. The voltage here should be about 5 volts on pin 1, which is what decouples via this capacitor to ground. And it's not. It's about 1.6 volts. Now, very briefly, I see like 4.5 volts. Probably is 5 volts. It's just the meter isn't quick enough to fully display that voltage, and then it drops down to like the 1.9, 1.8, something like that. It varies. By warming this up, the voltage doesn't change. It just literally changes the characteristics of the circuit, basically. So I see a picture for a bit longer. So I went through the circuits, and I forget which pin it is, but there's a pin that goes from the output of this chip to the switching chip. Now I've put in an input as well, and the input is doing exactly the same thing. So what I'll do is I'll just start a capture. Capture started. So yeah, this capturing what's actually going on. You might be able to see maybe the odd flicker. Let's get some heat on this. We should, once it warms up, take a second. There we go. We should start to see, yeah, there we go. So the image is back. That'll disappear again. So that is now, let's just get a meter on that. So pin 1. So 1.95 volts. How can I do this? Yes, if I then go on pin 1, so pin 1, 1.95 volts, press play, it goes up to, well, 4 volts in that case, and this time I'm not getting anything, and that's because it's been on a bit. So once it's sort of fully warmed up, I don't get anything unless I put quite a bit of heat on that capacitor. Thereby, like I say, changing the characteristics of the circuit. So yeah, that's a total red herring. The thermal issues, complete red herring. So basically, looking at the circuit diagram, so there's that capacitor that I heat up, and I should be getting about 5 volts on there, and I'm not. I'm getting 1.95 as it happens now. But going back through all of this, I go to pin 24, which is the output of that chip, to the switching chip that switches E to E, I think it's E to E, and video. Instead of getting 5.6 volts there, or 6 volts, I am getting just shy of 9 volts, and on this side I'm getting just shy of 9 volts, which you'd expect because that's connected to that. But on pin 2 and pin 15 I'm also getting about 9 volts, and across this transistor I'm getting 9 volts here, I'm getting about 8 volts, 8 point something volts here, and 7 volts here. So all of this is high. So I've changed this transistor, and it has not made a blind bit of difference. I haven't checked the voltages yet, but I assume they're going to be the same. So my next port of call is going to be this transistor, and I'm sort of thinking it probably will be that transistor. Yeah, maybe. A diode could be suspect as well. But I think we are looking at something around here. I don't know whether this potentially could cause issues, maybe. I'd have to work that one back through, and I'll check this one as well. Yeah, I think it's between this, sorry, not that one because I've changed that one, but it could well be this one. But I need to do some more voltage checks around here to actually find out what's going on. So yeah, it's a really weird one. I am suspecting transistors rather than capacitors. It just feels very much like a transistor or chip. It could be the chip itself as well. You know, my first thought was it's probably the chip, but I am giving it the benefit of the doubt. Yeah, I'll go through the discrete components first before I look at the IC. Like I say, I've changed all of these for totally pointless, chasing a thermal fault that it isn't even there. So yeah, so can I, if I press stop now, what do we get? Nothing at all. Let's give it some more heat again. There we go, you see, and you get it back. And that's just changing the characteristics of the circuit to basically let video through, even though there is a faulting condition. At least there is colour there. I don't know what's going on with the colour side of things yet. That'll be the next job to sort out once we get this E to E and video output problem sorted. Part of me is a bit intrigued to see what RF out is like, for what it's worth. Just to see if that's affected as well. I assume it probably is. But yeah, I'll do some more investigation, and I'll be back. Let's crack on. So after changing those transistors, well, I'm pretty certain it's going to be the chip. There is a transistor soldered on the back of it, and which made it a real pain. Well, I say real pain. It made it a bit more fiddly. Excuse the glue. I'll clear that off. There's some glue residue there that I had a bit of an argument with. I'll clean that off in the fullness of time. These boards don't like isopropyl, so yeah, I'll just very carefully sort of scrape that off. It makes the varnish go gooey and sticky and horrible. So original one is a CD 4053BC from NEC, and the replacement from the other board, donor board, is a Toshiba TC 4053BP. So slightly different rating on the chip, but that's fine. I think it's slightly uprated when it's a P. I can't remember. I did look at the data sheet the other night. But yeah, they are actually quite cheap. They're just basically logic arrays. So yeah, maybe, I'm hoping this will get it working. I've had these go faulty, or generation of chips go faulty before. So, you know, you never know. They're getting old, and it's early days of integrated logic circuits. So yeah, let's power it on and power it on and just start a capture. See what we're gonna do. Why do I think it's still going to fail? Looks like it is. There it goes. What is going on with those voltages? It's just really weird. Just doesn't make any sense how those voltages are so high. Really weird. Okay, well, I'm going to have to do yet more research and yeah, take it from there. Let's just stop it. I mean, I'm assuming the E to E is going to be the same. Yeah, I mean, we've got no E to E, which is interesting. I noticed this before, that there was no E to E until I sort of gave it a prod. I had to like warm this up the first time, so let's just try that. Warm up the cap, and once you've warmed it up once, it seems to make it work. But maybe. Look at the snow there. Oh, I seem to have lost. Might be a dodgy connection. Let's check it. Has that changed things? Oh, a bit of damaged tape. Yeah, it's not coming back, is it, anytime soon? It does seem to have changed the characteristics of the faults. Yeah, no, it's still pretty pretty much had it. We've got no E to E now, which is interesting. The modification, the transistor modification on the bottom of the 4053 chip was on both boards, so I have no worries there with compatibility or whatever. But yes, that's really weird. It seems to have made it worse changing the chip. So interesting. So I'll do some more research, and yeah, we'll take it from there. Let's crack on. So I've done quite a lot more investigation, and it's very much looking like I'm missing a voltage. I wouldn't quite call it a voltage rail, or maybe I would, I don't know. But yeah, it looks like this voltage here, it's derived off the 9-volt rail and dropped through this resistor. I should have something like 4.6 volts there. I've got something like 0.2, it's really low. But this voltage actually does quite a lot. So I've come down here, and you can actually see it's almost like it is shorted, relatively shorted to ground. Somewhere it's getting dragged down, and it does a lot. So where are we? Down here. If we follow the line, I mean, it goes right the way through here. So it's ACK. It's the ACK DC. So it also goes to the RF7 board. So I think what I need to do is try and work out why that's being pulled down so much. It's not making a lot of sense to me at the moment, and like I say, it does so much. It goes to so many different chips. It's like an acknowledgement of okay, you know, it's okay to display. I think I've got that right. So yeah, but on this chip here, so the one where I was heating the capacitor, it would come back. Like I say, that's a complete red herring. That's just literally changing the characteristics, because these discs are quite volatile in how stable they are. The black tipped ones are the stable ones. The normal ones, they will fluctuate quite a lot with heat and other things as well, voltage and whatever's going across it. So there's quite a lot of fluctuation relatively with these standard ones, but the black tip ones are the precise ones. So yeah, it's quite fun. I can see, I mean, this chip is ultimately the one that's giving all the clues, but this is not. It's nothing to do with this area of circuits. I did look at the high pass filter, and which is around here, but I mean, it's all fairly reliable componentry here, and it seems to be okay, seems to all check out right. My scope wasn't helping with working that out, but it checks okay. But it's literally, I can see the luminance signal coming in. I can see the video signal coming out, disappearing in line with the capture. The color signal, from what I can see, the playback chroma, which is on pin 4 here, that seems to be missing. So yeah, that's a bit weird. And I do have a couple of other strange voltages. I think on pin 3 I was getting, let's just try that actually, I think I'm getting 8 volts. So pin 3, no, that was the low one. One of them I'm getting, oh yes, I remember. It is, yes, pin 24, I should have 5.6 volts, and there I'm getting 8 volts, so it's considerably higher than should be there, which is interesting, to say the least. And I can't see why, because I thought it was a problem with this chip. Basically 9 volts getting into the getting to the wrong place because of that chip, because the link between pin 24 and IC 21, there's nothing in between. There's no componentry, there's nothing that goes touches that, and yet it's sort of 8 volts plus pin 1 and pin 24 here. But again, that's a bit of a red herring. That's more to do with the fault rather than it being the fault. So yeah, but what I'll do is I'll just do a quick capture, and we can just compare it with the scope, and you can just see then things, how things are breaking. So right, we're not in play at the moment, so if we look at pin, it's quite difficult to do actually, pin 12, which is right at the end of IC19, press play. You see there's that's the luminance playback, and just get a good contact. So that's constant, apart from when my probe doesn't probably connect. So if I now go to pin 24, I have nothing. So I'm pressing stop, and possibly I've got no, so this is playback and E to E out, and I've got neither. And sometimes I do, sometimes I get, let's see if I can actually get some E to E. And this is a slightly odd thing, that sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't, but it also fades out. So playback, and disappears, and then will we get it back? There it is, and then as it fades, it gets lower and lower and lower, and that's it, it's gone. So if I press stop, we've got a tiny bit of E to E there. You can just see a little bit of a ripple on the yeah, so it died almost straight away. Ooh, it's interesting. But there it goes. It's like the R'C9 suddenly died. So, again, not the best contact. Sort of very weird how it's going. Yeah, there's sound clicking in and out as well, which is interesting. I don't know what that's what's going on with the R'C9. So swing it on a bit because I think there's a break. So there we go. There's the video. And that disappears completely. Now chroma comes in on pin 4, and just wait for it to kick in. I'm basically getting nothing in on chroma, which I think is possibly a bit of a clue, but time will tell as I sort of further investigate. Nothing at all there. So yeah, it's E to E in. E to E comes in on pin 2. So you can see pin 2 got healthy E to E in. And go back to pin 24. And we have next to nothing. There's a few flickers there as well, so yeah, it's gone all together now. So it's really very bizarre. So obviously that voltage missing is causing, well, looks like majority of the issues, but why is it missing? Is it the resistor? It's gone high maybe? The resistor that comes off the rail? Or is it something pulling down the rail? Like I say, there's a lot that relies on that ACK signal, and yeah, something is definitely loading that down. So yeah, I just got to investigate. I mean, it might be that I can take components out from various stages and just see if the rail comes back. But yeah, it's all a bit strange. Anyway, let's crack on. Can't remember exactly how much I recorded last night on this, but yeah, when I removed that transistor, I actually got about 5 volts on that rail, which is a little bit higher than the manual says, but it's not like barely 0 volts. So it does point to this chip, because that is actually directly linked to this chip. What I'm seeing on this chip seems wrong. Chroma seems to be being dragged down by this chip. So I changed it. It's a CX869, and I swapped it off the other donor board, and we'll see if that makes any difference. I'm still a bit skeptical, but it does all seem to point to that chip. So, well, let's see. Let's pair it on, and fingers crossed, isn't it? Okay, so and it's no better. Exactly the same problem. Well, interesting. I mean, part of me almost wonders if the actual PCB itself could be causing issues. If it's really got that damp, could it affect the way the interconnects are working? I mean, it's a single-sided board, but I don't know, I think that's a bit far-fetched myself. But yeah, I'm sort of a bit lost really, because nothing makes sense. It really is quite bizarre. I've put these back, so these are now back to the original, what was originally in here. That one, I've left that, and that logic switching chip, I don't really care about that. I'll leave that in. It's obviously being recapped, which made absolutely no difference, but we did find a lot of bad caps. I mean, there was a heck of a lot of bad caps. Quite a few that smelt quite fishy-like. Although many tested, well, there's only 1 or 2 really that tested bad relatively. But of course, once you apply heat, it can skew that anyway. But yeah, So I'll throw it open to you. I've run out of time again. I've spent way too much time on this, but I'm determined to fix this panel rather than just swap it out with another one if I can possibly avoid doing a swap out. Because I want to run this machine and just see how reliable it is, having had such a hard life in such a damp environment and being used in a damp environment as well. So let me know in the comments any thoughts, if you've seen this fault and how you fixed it, or anything obscure that I might have missed. Yeah, but I'm a little bit stumped at the moment. One thing, let's just try to see what that voltage is, because I'm intrigued now to see if we do actually have that voltage back, or whether it is the same. And I suspect it's going to be the same. Oh, 0.26. So that's on the transistor here, and we should be getting 4.6 volts, and we're not. We're getting next to nothing. So there's obviously something not right around that chip in this section, because like I say, removing that transistor lifted it all up, and yeah, there is, looking at this thing, is it's been switched on, isn't it? So just bring it down to ground, just turning it off. Interesting. Okay, well, again, that could be a little bit of a red herring, maybe, but it's really weird. It's really weird, a really weird fault. And yeah, I wonder if it's going black and white, like it's being forced. Yeah, it's taking it as black and white. So I could well still have two separate faults with this panel. But anyway, let me know in the comments. I'd be really interested to see what you think could be causing this. And like I say, if you've seen this fault as well, you might be able to shed some light on what's gone wrong with this. But really very bizarre, and it did go wrong fairly quickly after I got it up and running in the last video. So it's interesting. It's an interesting one. So yeah, let me know in the comments, and a like and subscribe would be great, and a hype as well. It'd be great to sort of get the channel out there a bit more. And yeah, with that, thank you very much for watching, and hopefully I shall see you in another video. Bye for now.